Hey gang, welcome to Bugbears and Brews. My name's Brian, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So instead of talking D&D, we are actually going to be talking about Star Wars Edge of the Empire. So officially, as far as whenever we're talking about Star Wars Edge of the Empire, we're no longer going to be Bugbears and Brews, and instead we're going to be Banthas and Brews, because there's no Bugbears in the Star Wars universe, at least not that I know of. And there's lots of Banthas, and so Banthas and Brews is what we're going with. Uh, the switch for that is I can't open a beer with this small, really cool, because I'm using it upside down. That's why. Works a lot better when it's the right way. Small, really cool New Belgian little key fob or keychain holder, bottle opener thingy that I got from doing a tasting with New Belgium one day. Anyway, the reason we're changing is from a DM's perspective, running Forgotten Realms and D&D 5e is getting a little stale. I don't mind it from a player perspective, but high magic in general has never really been my favorite. I like fantasy stuff, but I prefer more low magic fantasy stuff versus high magic. So wanting to kind of step away from the world of high fantasy magic and that kind of stuff, we are instead going to just completely shift gears, go into a more storytelling gameplay, and go into Star Wars Edge of the Empire. So we had a couple people out, 4 people out this week, which is why we decided to go ahead and with the 3 people we had remaining, run a majority of the beginner's game for Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Sorry, talking a lot. Need a delicious, once again, drinking the honey wheat because it's fantastic. So yeah, ran the beginner's box Edge of the Empire, got through most of it, really had a good time. So we had Don, who was playing Posh. Everybody used the out-of-the-box characters, who is like a pilot, drop out of the... I got kicked out of the flight academy type of guy. We had 41 Vex, who was a medical droid played by non-evil Tim, Mothy, whatever we want to call him. And then we had Anthony, who was playing Ascara, who is a Twi'lek mercenary, if I recall. Hired gun, blaster for hire, that kind of stuff there. Start off with you guys on Tatooine in this little rundown cantina town, Moshada, something along those lines. And you guys were all pissed off the local crime lord Timo the Hutt through various ins and outs of your jackass personalities, because in Edge of the Empire, everybody is kind of shades of gray, smugglery, not quite on the up and up for the most part. Not everybody's like that, but for the most part, that's how it is. So you guys, somewhere along the lines, cross streams with Timo, and he wasn't happy. He's sending some guys out after you. So you guys are running through Moshada, and you see this cantina that you know is kind of like a Sweden for Moshada, and like you can't really fight in it. So you're going to go ahead and duck in there and try to get away from the guys that are chasing you. Immediately, Posh goes up to the bar, grabs a beverage, and then sits down with some people that he recognized that were playing a group of, or playing a game of, was it the Pazik or Sabik or Sabik? I forget what the game is. Pazik, I think, rings a bell though. And then the droid 41 Vex and Ascara, they go ahead and slide into a booth, order beverages, and everybody's the first roll that we have for everybody was like kind of like a deception or a streetwise, those kinds. I don't remember the exacts behind it, but like a bluffing type roll. And everybody just absolutely nailed their rolls. And so while the guards come in that were chasing you guys, there was Grimorians, if I recall, the piggy type dudes from Jabba's palace. I'm gonna have to get used to a lot of the names. I know them visually. Whenever I think about it, to explain it, I'm not quite 100% on them. So the piggy type dudes come looking for you guys. You're looking around, or they're looking around. They're not seeing you guys because to them, if you're not Grimorian, you all look alike. So they give up. You guys go about your business. Give it time to cool off. Posh wins a couple hands, even though he didn't even have money to play the game to begin with. He sat down at the table and somebody was like, "Oh, you don't have money. You're not paying." And he's like, "You actually owe me money." And so you're going to pay my first hand. And from there, he just started winning hand after hand after hand with rolls. And then Ascara just kind of kicked back, relaxed, had a beverage or two. And then 41 Vex went up, checked out the Twi'lek that was dancing up on stage, noticed that she wasn't quite healthy. And so he gave her, like an IV of saline solution, and then, got her back on her feet. She actually passed out for a minute there. But 41 Vex was able to get her right back on her feet. And not listening to the medical droid, she decided she's just going to get back up and start dancing. So go for that. Guys grew tired of the cantina, decided you're probably in the clear, and you step outside, and the Grimorians were actually waiting for you guys. One was sitting across on a, and my daughter's, oh, she must have just closed the door, probably because I'm talking so loud. One was sitting on a trash can, kind of like looking up in the sky, like waiting, and the other two were leaned up against the wall, pretty much passed out. So you guys were able to get outside and get a drop on them. And I think we opened up with Ascara. Yeah, I think he opened up with a shot with the blaster rifle, and I don't recall if it was the first shot or the second shot. Just an absolute critical success, and on these guys, it just decimated them. Critical success, they were dead. So this guy just fell over, squealed like a little piggy. Then in turn woke one of the other sleeping ones up. You guys did a little bit of fighting back and forth there. It got really close in melee range. You guys are kind of dodging around. Eventually this thing gets down on the ground, and what happened there? Something, it was trying to grab Posh, I think it was, and Posh tried to like nonchalantly like shoot out at the ground and like blow out the blaster rifle. Completely whiffed, but 41 Vex dropped a stun grenade, concussion grenade, something like that, and wound up taking out both the other two guys, if I recall correctly. From there, you guys were like, hey, we got to get off this place. You knew, listening to the bartender kind of having the radio chatter going on, that there was a spaceship coming in, the Kyrit Fang, who's docking. It's kind of got a messed up hypermatter emitter, if I recall the exacts on it. And so you guys knew, like, that's a pretty good off-worldy ship. It was a light freighter, very Millennium Falcon-esque when you saw the map of it. And so you guys knew that'd be a pretty good ship to steal to get the hell out of here. But first you had to kind of figure out where to get this emitter. So you guys went over to the junkyard, talked to the owner there, did some bullshitting back and forth. Eventually he agreed to sell you the emitter under the guy. You guys put off that you were representatives of Trex, who is the guy whose ship you're about to steal. Trex is actually a bounty hunter extraordinaire in this area, and so he actually works for Timo as well, or not works for Timo, but turns in a lot of bounties to Timo. So if you're already pissing off Timo, why not piss off the guy that bounty hunts for him too, right? During this time frame, though, the 41 Vex decided to try to sweeten your guys' deal with the junkyard guy, that he's going to go outside and try to fix the neon light for this guy. And he brought the R5 unit droid with him outside, because the owner of the junkyard had his R5 and he wasn't very nice to it. So 41 was going to try to fix him up, make sure he's in good condition and whatnot, because he feels like he's probably getting neglected there. But with that, as you guys are like outside taking a look around, 41 Vex is looking, has an idea on how to fix the R5s. R5s are a little bit newer model, so he switched one thing around and it turned out to be absolutely wrong, and R5 started running around like a cat with like half its whiskers cut. And on top of that, he wasn't able really to fix the sign. As he's looking and trying to fix the sign, and the R5 is kind of going in all sorts of crazy loops. Another one of those Gamorreans come after, sees Vex there, holds up like a bounty and like look, notices and just starts charging. So as Ascara and Pash are inside talking with the owner of this place. Poor Vex, who is not a very strong combatant, is outside fighting this Gamoran. Winds up taking it down with a stun grenade, but because the stun grenade was so close to the sign, it wound up absolutely frying the sign as well. With that, you guys like politely shimmy down out the way, like have fun. Here's your money. Let's take care. See ya. There's a couple other funny parts there regarding who actually has money, who doesn't, and 41 Vex giving up who actually has money and that kind of stuff there. But try to be quick because there's a lot of shit to cover in this. So from here, we split the party. One of the things I should mention is during that time frame of dealing with the junkyard, Posh just swipes something completely unsure what the hell it is. As he's walking, you guys like realize initially you're gonna have to get this thing out of the docking lock. So Ascara and Posh are heading up that way, and then 41 wanted to go check out a shop to see if there's any sort of upgrades in this area or not. So 41, he goes digging through the shop, looking for some upgrades. Didn't find anything. Instead, found some disguise kits and thought it might be good for them to have. So he bought 2 of them in exchange for, I think it was 175 credits. And then he had to fix the neon sign for the guy. And he actually wound up fixing this guy's neon sign, unlike where he blew up the previous neon sign. So he got a good deal there. We then kind of joked around about what is a disguise kit for a droid, and we just decided it's a fake mustache that he puts on, and it's a very porn star looking mustache. And so whenever 41 Vex is wearing the porn star looking mustache, he is now known as the droid 69 Sex. So from here on out, I think he actually walked around as 69 Sex instead of 49 Vex, or 41 Vex. And fun times were had with all sorts of droidy type sex puns. Sex robot, if you're a... what's it called? Whitest Kids You Know? Funny comedy show. Don't even know if it's still around, but it was funny when it was. So Ascara and Posh, they're trying to get into the docking command center, and these droids are keeping them out. And this snooty asshole walks into Posh and is like, "Get the hell out of my way!" Posh swipes his badge during this time frame. He's like, "All right, I'll get out of your way, but don't I know you from somewhere?" And the guy's like looking him over, and Posh's like, "Oh yeah, I screwed your wife multiple times." And he was trying to get the guy to swing on him, to trying to cause a ruckus. It didn't happen, but luckily, as I said, during this whole transaction, Posh was able to swipe the guy's badge to get through the guard droids. And this guy just left in a complete huff, really pissed off. And so heading into the command center there, Posh, the thing that he swiped at you wound up being like a universal key to this area. This was one of the flips of the destiny points there. So he flipped the destiny point to a to the dark side. And then when I think said the thing he swiped, because he swiped multiple things now, the thing he swiped from the junkyard was like a universal key here. No, Ascara was not with Posh at this time. Ascara, at this point, decided to go and kind of scout the landing pad and figure out what's going on with Trex and try to get him out. And he'd go underneath the guise of he is going to install the hyper matter emitter. 41 Vex / 69 Sex was in with Posh. So we'll take care of... we'll jump over to Ascara because that's kind of where we did things story-wise. So Ascara, she walks in through the landing bay, talks her way through people, under the guise of mechanics. There's some droids out there ready for, some guard droids outside of the Kyrite Fang, kind of waiting to figure out what's going on here. And Ascara bullshits her way past them, and then she heads up into the Kyrite Fang and is talking with Trex, like, "Oh, Trex is really cool, excited. Like, I've never had this kind of service. The junkyard guy must be up in his level of service. That's great." And Ascara's like, "Yeah, let's go take care of this, and we'll figure out how we can get this in there. If there's any additional service charge, any of that kind of shit." And Trex starts taking him along, and Ascara tries to get the jump, drops the hyper matter emitter, misses, or as she's pulling up her blaster rifle, the Trex turns around and already knew that something was up and blasts into Ascara pretty strongly there. And so Anthony wound up taking some damage there. He fired back at Trex, hit him really well, but not enough to take him down. And the first hit, let's see here. The first hit, Anthony missed and wound up instead hitting the. No, I lied. So here's how it went down, because it would have been really bad otherwise. Is Trex hit Ascara. Ascara, while stumbling because we had an advantage here, wound up smacking his arm into, or her arm into the landing ramp, lift ramp, whatever, loading ramp. There we go. So it locked the droids out. So then Ascara turned around, shot at Trex, wound up hitting. Then Trex laid into Ascara one more time and knocked him out. Luckily, Ascara, or Trex kind of already had an idea that Ascara is going to be wanted by Teemo, and so instead of killing her, he put her in a holding pen until he can get things figured out here. Ooh, forgive me. Back on the other side, in the pin, or not the pin, the command center, Posh is in there talking about, hey, it's a surprise inspection. We got to take a look at everything and make sure everything's up to date and that kind of stuff. And the Commander Bryn or something along those lines, is not really happy with this. But then Posh starts laying down like, hey, everything's cool. You're going to be fine with this. It's just a surprise inspection before the real inspection tomorrow. Want to make sure you're in the good. Walks out with the Commander Bryn's phone number. And so during this time frame, 69 Sex is in there hacking the docking pad stuff and unlocking the door, or unlocking the gate clamps. Yeah, there we go, space clamps. I forget what the hell they're called here in the moment, because I'm trying to be quick because this is already going to go super long. Unlocks those. You guys are deuces. Let's get out of here. You guys start heading out, heading towards the landing pad, and you start to see there's stormtroopers everywhere. They notice you. They're looking for you. You guys take off, start splitting in different directions. Posh quickly loses his group, and then sadly 69 Sex gets followed and gets trapped into a alleyway, and he uses 69 Sex uses his last stun grenade, takes a couple shots, and then rapid fire kills 3 of them. Because of, I think, the way that the group minions work. I still got to read up on that one a little bit better, because I felt like that one wasn't quite done completely right. But, either way, he took those out amazingly on his own. 69 Sex is the man, apparently, as a droid. And hurried up and rushed over to the loading dock. You guys on the loading dock here, Ascara wakes up inside the ship. She's trying to figure out how to get out there. Winds up breaking out of the cage, or the cell that she's held in, as you guys are rushing the loading dock, and just immediately we don't have time for this. Stormtroopers are out after us. We just got to go. Posh running in, shoots one of the security droids, and I think it was a critical success or critical advantage. I forget which one, whatever the term is. So those droids start spinning around its top, and it takes out the other droid. And then up top there, Trex comes in, and you guys didn't even fight Trex. That's right. You told him some sort of lie with that Teemo was looking for him, and he had to hurry up, and he actually bought it. I forget what the exacts were. But you guys locked him out, closed the blast doors, got rid of the droids, took care of those, and blasted off into space. And that's, you quickly got the ship fixed and blasted off. That's where we left off, because we ran out of time. A lot of shit that we covered. A lot of fun, a lot of impromptu stuff. I really like you pass with an advantage, you fail with a disadvantage, the whole, you have an advantage or you have a disadvantage regardless of whether you pass or fail. That's a lot of fun. Getting you to buy in character-wise, what's being developed based on these outcomes was a lot of fun. Getting you guys to buy into manipulating the story a little bit with the Force and the Destiny flips that was a lot of fun. Really looking forward to getting into the real rules. Once we finish up Tomb of Annihilation, we'll be switching over to, don't know, I think Julia Yevon is kind of in my lead to start with, and then from there we will expand who knows where. But I've already talked for like 20 fucking minutes. I'm going to finish my beer. Yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday where we pick back up with Tomb of Annihilation. See you guys.